Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Today, I got a good lesson for you for those who can pay attention and keep up. This is a subliminal messages for those. Let's go. I won't be personal, but you have to pay attention to understand this message. Rightisms. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. The message is a story for life. Another life lesson that you need to understand and try for yourself to know who you are by receiving that call. Right thinking, mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate all individuals to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little bit better spiritually. Right thinking is way of life. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal, spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. That's my mission for all right thinkers to do just that. Know themselves. Here's the question. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know dangers, avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock. That's what I do. Wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my eye, be true. In life, and I've been on this talking to God and raise your consciousness, becoming one with your higher self. So I'm trying to get the concept across to all my right thinkers. Let's talk about your calling. It's a spiritual thing. God, spiritual, God's call. When you find you and you realize what He sent you here to do, that's what you find, that gift that was given to you, and you use it, aka you work what works for you. That's what you do. When you know you, you're going to do work for your higher self. That's why you find Him and He'll let you know what to do, aka the calling. When I got my spiritual calling, the voice was in the voice of my favorite coach, Vince Lombardi. Yeah, for faculty, all that. But because when I was coming up, he was my guy. And I figured in order to get my attention, that's the voice that he used. Everybody got a different concept. That's just mine. I'm just letting you know. So when I heard Vince, that voice in my head, I'm paying attention. And this is what it was said. When your favorite person, coach, or whatever, talks to you, you listen. Get the concept? And as I was listening, paying attention and engulfed, I was told, don't tell them about me. Everybody doing that. Everybody talking about God. Yeah, yeah, I believe in God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's doing that. Okay. That ain't doing, and they ain't doing it too well. All you God professors, if you not being obedient, stop professing God. For you preachers, don't preach and don't live up to what you're preaching. I'm a teacher. I live up to what I teach. So I can say that I'm going to call you out. And I was told, watch this, to teach them how to get to me. That's when right thinking philosophy started. And that's the basis of right thinking philosophy, to get all right thinkers to know themselves, aka know God for yourself. I don't want you to believe in Him. I want you to experience Him, know Him for yourself, so then you can worship, obey, and be proud to be part of that family of knowledgeable, enlightened people. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Raise your human experience to the spiritual level, and you'll be fine. That's what it's all about. Ever since 2013, I have been teaching life lessons when daily. Right thinking philosophy became my way of life. I got 10 years in doing what I do for you. I'm enjoying the ride now. After wasn't that fun? Now it's fun. Okay, everything's on one. Only listen. Only the spiritually enlightened ones will answer the call, because those are the ones who get the call. Ignorant people, disrespectful, egoistic people, excuse me, don't get the call. They make calls, they pray and they ask, but they don't get nothing in return, because if you don't put in the work, you can't get paid. What you mean by the work? God's work is living right, treating people right, doing the right thing for the right reason, and things will just work out for you. That's his way of paying you back, aka blessing you. But you only can get blessed if you do what? Put the work in. If he's good to you, and as my pastor tells me every day, he's too good to him. So if he's good to you, you must be doing something good for him to be good to you. That's just Christian concept, Muslim, Islamic, don't make a difference. I think it's all based on the same criteria. You can call it what you want. I call it being God conscious. I call it using spiritual discipline. You can call it whatever you want. I will remember that day. Okay, excuse me. No, spiritual light. Okay, only the spiritual light want to get the call. Watch this. And the idea of your calling, and watch this, is really your spiritual enlightenment moment, aka that epiphany, that life-changing experience. That when you have that with God, if your life don't change, did you really have it? Because it should and it would change your life. Now you know. You got proof that you and God are connected. That should be a wonderful thing. I will remember that day for the rest of my natural life. 5/1/2013. Bam! What the what? If you say so, yeah. I was giving marching orders. I was just what I want you to do. I've been doing it ever since. So, well, how you know that was God? I had that question. Okay, if helping others be their best selves is the devil's work, that's what I'm working for, because that's what he told me to do. Get you to him. That guy right there, he did the work for the other guy. I know him. Trust me. Again, I know what I know. Your calling, watch this. Now, if you received your calling, you know and remember that moment forever. For all of us who got that call, Saul knocked off the heart, became Paul. Anytime you and God made that connection, Jesus Christ, anybody who make that connection, we got Buddha, Vishnu, we got a whole bunch of people in every walk of life, every aspect. So it ain't no one set way. Become enlightened. That means knowing God for yourself, and by any means necessary, in the words of my boy Malcolm. But your calling is God letting you know he sees your work and it's good. You don't have to hear that. That's not something you hear after you die. You want that conversation now. They sold you on you get good job, my good and faithful servant. After death, you want to get that conversation now. Sorry about that, but that's adamant about that. And my man Reverend Ike say, don't believe in that pie sky by and by nonsense. You want yours, why here now? But if you put the work in, that's when you'll get it. So trust me on that one again. Where we at? Excuse me. Your Kundalini, your cerebral spinal fluid, your Christos, that's activated by one thing: good, righteous living. In any relation, it don't make a difference. They all got to meet the same criteria. Knowing yourself is answering your call from your higher self. That's when it's made. It's something you're going to do to activate that. To get them serpents going up, like you got to do something. Get off your rusty dusty and get to working. If you're doing something for God, you know what you should be doing. Simple as that. Now, when you become spiritually enlightened, watch this. You are in contact and your obedience to your higher self, God. You become God conscious. Now you know God. That's the best feeling in the world. Better than anything. As my man Algero say, better than anything. Yeah, that better than that. Now, that's a fact, Jack. Spiritual knowledge, aka self-knowledge, is God knowledge. It's acquired after what? Years of daily practice and doing the right thing. You will reach that nihas, the highest level of spiritual enlightenment. You know God for yourself because your actions and your deeds got his attention and he made himself known to you, aka know thyself. Knowing your name ain't knowing yourself. Knowing your horoscope don't mean you know yourself. Now they got a problem with knowing their own gender. If you don't know that, you got a problem. A real big problem. Knowing God's the least of your problems. Where we at? Okay, now your calling is your higher self, making itself known to you again, hence calling. Get your attention. I heard the voice of Vince Lombardi in my head. So you could tell somebody that? But if that's what happened, if I'm telling the truth, I gotta tell you what happened. I can't make it sound good. No, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Simple. So yeah, the calling is a spiritual connection along with a mental consciousness. When you and God become connected here and here, hence heart, mind coherence. I'm driving that point home because you really need to know God for yourself. He ain't out there, he's in here. But if you do certain things, that's how he gets to get his attention. He ain't got time to sit and play with y'all. You do what you do, he do what he do. God, listen, speaks to you spiritually through what? Your conscious. He gave you that. So that's the tool that he used to get your attention. We got philosophical concepts, we got spiritual truths. But when you do what you're supposed to do, something magical will happen. That's the mystical experience that the religion is supposed to give you. If you perform the tenets of that religion you profess, you will have that experience. But if you're mistaught, you misunderstand, you'll never have it. Right thinkers are what? Preparing for their calling. If you haven't received the call, don't panic, don't freak out. You get busy on what you're supposed to do, and I guarantee you, you'll get the call. Just like when you want the devil, you go out to the Delta, and here come. You do right thing, and they got the whole concept. The devil and the angel, that concept came from Haru and Set. Good and evil, light and dark. It's been the oldest story known to man. And you can dress up against the well-dressed lot. You can dress up any way you want. And most people do, but get the message. Make the point known that this is what you have to do. That's all. Right thing is you're planning for what to get your call. If you live in righteous daily, have offer selfless service daily, follow your spiritual discipline daily, you're on the road to spiritual enlightenment and be ready for the call. Some of us not. I wasn't. I had no idea. That's why I'm pushing hard because if you make that transformation and you're unaware of it, a lot of people just flip out. Okay, but if you're living right, you pretty much got a whole understanding. I've been just doing the right thing and I'm just exercising my right to do right. Bam! That's what you do. Okay, trust me. That's how it's done. Again, I had no idea I was becoming God conscious when I was just doing the right thing, living by my lessons that I was learning, professing them for myself, proving them for myself before I can, teach or no. I need to perfect it, articulate it, and use it so that way when I give it to you, I can tell you just what to do, how, and when to do it. Trust me. Say the same thing with the drugs, same thing at UPS, same thing in the Masonic order. Having nothing changed. I'm still doing what I do for you. Let's go. Once I reached that Neha state, became enlightened, I became conscious of God and me. God and I are one and the same. If that don't change your life, if that don't put a sparkle in you, I don't know what else will. Oh, maybe a bunch of money. But that won't get you to God. Fortune, fame, that won't get you to God. That just make you happy and jubilant and all that good stuff. But spiritual enlightenment, that connection when you and God make that conversation, you answer that call, bam, priceless. All right, here you go. In order to get your calling, here you go. I'll keep telling you, you will have to know thyself first. Oh, he don't call and say, you get to work on yourself and I'll call back. And it's only after you put yourself in position to receive the call. You can't sit around. Here you go. I said, put yourself in position, mean you need to be doing the right thing. So you can't be sitting around doing nothing and thinking you will get a call from God if you just believe. Prayer, belief, no works, no result. So understand that. So go up your messy dusty, put some work in, and you'll get something out of it. If you plow the land, get it ready, and you don't put no seeds down, ain't nothing going to grow. Be a seed planter. Last one. Your divine calling comes from knowing thyself. When you reach that level, and they told you Nehas, they ain't got a definition for that. Why? Because they can't figure it out. We telling you what it is, our way and our terms. If you want to make it something else like they don't do, well, they say that, we call it this. Nehas is Nehas. I was asked, how do you know it was called from God and not the ego? I'm very familiar with his voice. I know him. Trust me. I have been, watch this, talking to my ego most of my life. I know that voice. It is not Vince Lombardi's voice. My divine calling was in the voice of my higher consciousness, God. And when God knows you, he knows just what to do to get your attention, like your other half. They know what to do to get your attention, aka push the buttons. So you think he don't know you? And when you do the things you're supposed to do, he'll let himself be known to you, aka the calling. When you know thyself, the calling will only come from your higher self. It don't come from Sat. He don't call you. Become Haru. That's being your best self. That's defeating your evil uncle on your shoulder who wants you to do what he wants to do. Don't do it. Last one. When you pray, are you praying to, who are you praying to? Your ego self. And if that's who you're praying to, you cannot bless yourself. When you meditate, you are communing with your higher self. And if you can get to that realm, you will be understanding of what I'm trying to say to you right now. Put the time in, let him talk to you. If he's there, if you got that conscious understanding, he'll respond. If you're on the belief tip, you get nothing. That's just the concept that I teach and preach and live by. You can believe what you want. I'm just giving you facts, and you can use them, find out for yourself. That's right there in philosophy. Facts and proof, not belief. I got more for you. Oh, yeah. Did you get your call?